Hi, and welcome to Enriched Perspective with Mike and Talisha Wallace, where we seek to shift paradigms through the exploration of biblical principles. I'm Mike.
And I'm Talisha.
Welcome to the podcast.
So today we're going to be talking about sibling rivalry. This lesson is something that triggered me when you were doing a Sunday school lesson about Jacob and his brother. And it just kind of struck a chord with me, and I wanted to share with everyone else, just go a little deeper on this topic because I think it's very necessary for the family structure. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. And I'm just going to start off with this little paragraph about sibling rivalry, and we'll get into it. Okay, sibling rivalry includes conflict, jealousy, or competition between brothers and sisters. And the Bible provides multiple examples of siblings whose relationships range from loving support to harmful conflict. So by exploring these accounts, one finds both cautionary tales and directives on fostering unity within families. So this is something that I think is going to be very helpful for all of us. We can learn from. I learned a lot, most definitely, while studying this. So I'm excited to get into it and hear what we both, what you have to say, what the word has to say, and just hopefully it can be a blessing to those that are raising children or even have been victims of this or what is the word if you're not a victim? Perpetrator?
Yep.
So maybe you have experienced sibling rivalry. Maybe you're in one right now. And we're going to talk about it and kind of see what the word says about it. So sibling rivalry. There's a scripture. I'm going to ask how you learned it, and I'll tell you how I learned it. Proverbs 17:17, it says, "A friend loveth at all times, and a brother is born for adversity." I used to think that scripture meant like you're supposed to fight your brother. You know, that's how I thought it because we always heard it that way. So I'm like, oh, okay. So it's okay to have rivalries or fight with your siblings because the Bible says that a brother is born for adversity. So how did you learn it before? How did you learn that scripture? Or you probably got it right.
No, I just didn't think too hard about it, honestly.
Oh, well, that's
because I don't have a brother.
Yeah, you don't have a brother,
So
but you had sisters though, so you still had siblings.
I didn't think of it that way. Like I said, I wasn't thinking too hard about that particular scripture, to be honest with you.
Yeah, we used to. It was a bunch of us. Well, my cousins and my sisters and stuff. So we always had some kind of beefing going on or something. So the brother is born for adversity, and then later on, I don't know how my understanding was open to that. I'm like, that's not what that scripture means. I'm like, what you mean that's not what it means? Yeah, you're supposed to be at odds with your siblings. Like, no, that scripture actually means a brother is born for a time of trouble. Like, they're actually supposed to be to your rescue, to your aid. It's not for you to fight with.
Correct.
And so once my understanding was open, I'm like, oh, okay. But oddly enough, like I say, we were teaching a Sunday school lesson about Jacob and Esau, I believe. And you just start getting into it. I'm like, oh my goodness, I didn't realize that there were so many examples of sibling rivalry in the Bible. And what's funny is it's in the book of Genesis, like at the beginning of humanity, where God set the family structure. You know, I don't think he meant for siblings to be clashing like this, but we have examples. So, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like you said at the very beginning, when you see the first set of siblings with Cain and Abel, you see a rivalry there. That's in Genesis, the 4th chapter, the 1st through the 9th verse, kind of talking about that. Then as you keep going kind of down the line, once you get to after Abraham had Isaac, him and Ishmael didn't really have a rivalry, but the mothers had a rivalry.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother thing. But when Isaac had his 2 sons, of course, that was a big rivalry. That's probably the one we're going to focus on the most. Then also it kind of continued down the family line with Joseph and his brothers as well.
Yeah.
Then I think he also had maybe one or a few others throughout the course of history, but those were the main ones. And those were the ones that really stood out. Talking about this particular subject matter. Just going back to first Cain and Abel, like just how it even came about.
Yeah.
It wasn't it was just a matter of one was received and the other one wasn't, or one was accepted and one was rejected, their sacrifices. In that particular case, Abel had offered a sacrifice of his flock or sheep, and Cain offered a sacrifice of the ground. And God accepted, of course, Abel's sacrifice, so he had respect into his sacrifice.
Right.
And then he did not have respect to Cain's sacrifice, and that made Cain angry.
Yeah.
But the funny thing is God gave him a chance to correct it. So it wasn't like he wasn't given instruction on how to provide a better sacrifice.
Right.
But instead of heeding the instruction, he decided, to get angry with his brother,
Yeah.
and he ended up killing his brother. And this one, to me, brought up an interesting point when it comes down to sibling rivalry. Sometimes it occurs just by virtue of one is doing something and they get well received and the other one doesn't like it.
Yeah.
It's not that you don't have an opportunity to be able to do the same thing, but you just don't have the desire to do it, I guess.
Yeah.
And you want the same type of acceptance, but you don't want to do the same type of work.
Exactly.
And you see that a lot where you have a kid in the household, maybe they're excelling in different areas, and they're getting accolades from outside of the house, not inside the house.
Right.
From outside the house, if you participate in sports or you participate in different clubs and things like that, and you excel, and you're winning awards or you're winning trophies or you're getting recognition or people begin to know who you are, then the one that's maybe not participating in anything,
right,
sitting at home watching TV, eating chips,
playing video games,
right, and not in a tournament, just playing the video games, and they're not getting the same type of recognition.
Right,
they get upset. They say, "Well, why everybody talking about them? Why everybody always talking about them? They always got something to say. They don't somebody say nothing about me." But you don't do the same things that they do.
Exactly.
So you're not really in a position to garner. I'm pretty sure if you were out there and you were, striving and you were excelling, you would get recognition.
Yeah.
You would get reward. But because you weren't, there's no reward for sitting at home on the couch.
Right.
But you want the same type of treatment, and again, it's not deserved.
Yeah.
And that's a big area of rivalry.
Yeah, I agree. Another thing I think too is we have to realize we're not all the same people.
Correct.
So they may have different skills, but you got to find out what your skill is and be the best at that. And don't get jealous of your sibling that's good at what they do. So that'll cut some of that down too.
Yep, that definitely will. When you talk about entitlement too, sometimes we think that just because of who we are, we should get a certain amount of recognition, praise, or a special type of treatment.
Yeah.
And again, there's a responsibility on you just as well as the next person. And if you don't take advantage of that, or if you don't lean into the responsibility and do what you're supposed to do, then again, there's going to be a difference between you, how you're treated, and the other person is treated. You look at accountability. Like say, some people do not want to be held accountable for any of their actions. It's always somebody else's fault. Never them. Never have I ever done anything wrong.
Right.
Never have I ever caused offense. Never have I ever, been in the wrong. And therefore, you expect, again, a certain type of treatment that you don't deserve.
Yeah.
And because the other person is receiving that treatment, you get in your feelings. And especially when they're so close to you, when you live in the same house, under the same roof, sometimes in the same bedroom, and you're hearing it or you're seeing it on a continual basis, that can cause something to rise up in you. Maybe like Cain, where maybe you don't go to the extreme of killing your brother physically, but you find ways and opportunities to try to kill their influence or try to, trash their character.
Yeah.
And that's just as bad.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like you say, you kill their influence, you kill their motivation, and they might even look up to you, but because you're jealous, or you tell them you can't do it, or you talk down to them, make them feel terrible, just because something's wrong in your heart.
Yep.
So when it comes to that, though, like you said before, it was like for people from the outside. What about the people inside? Who's responsible for this not happening? I mean, I'm guessing, which I'm pretty sure I'm going to be right on, is the parents, right? Don't they have a huge impact on? Can sibling rivalry come from the parents, or is it just something that is they do come up with it themselves?
No, it can definitely come from the parents as well.
Yeah.
When it comes down to the externals, influences and sources, as a parent, you try to balance that out. You try to make sure once they come under the roof, that you kind of make sure everybody understands that they're loved equally. And equally does not mean it looks the same, but it's still, I'm loving you. I'm going to look out for you. I care about you. I want you to be successful. I want you to succeed. And I support you. but it's not always going to look the same from child to child
Yeah.
because every child is not in the same things. And
Oh,
going back to that
Yeah.
thing where if you're in, I know sports, so if you're in sports,
Mm-hmm.
and especially if you're in trying to get into sports on a competitive level, that takes time.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to be traveling, you're going to be out of quite a bit. There's practices, there's tournaments and different things you have to participate in. And if the other child is not participating in those types of activities, they could feel left out
Mm-hmm.
or could feel like they're being dragged along to those types of events. And you, as a parent, have to find a way to balance that out.
Yeah.
Maybe they're not going to ever be into that type of thing. They might not be into the sports.
Mm-hmm.
But whatever they're in, you have to make sure that you put the same energy and effort into supporting them.
Yeah.
And that's a way that, as a parent, you can try to kind of quell that.
Yeah.
Of course, in the household, when you're in the house, it comes down to, like, are you letting them get away with murder because they're the golden child or because they're the more talented child or whatever? And you have to be very careful not to be giving them a pass.
Yeah.
Not to keep, giving them kind of like, well,
yeah,
let the other one do it. They don't do no chores.
Yeah.
They're not
No
accountable for anything that happens wrong in the house. It's always the fault of everybody around them.
Mm-hmm.
And that in and of itself can create a rivalry as well.
Yeah.
But when you come through those doors and you're being treated equally,
Mm-hmm.
you're being held accountable equally, then it helps quell that.
Yeah.
Because even though it might come from the outside, at least inside the home, I know my mom and my dad, they treating us all the same. They hold us all accountable in the same way.
That's right.
Even with that, sometimes it's still,
it's just,
it's hard.
It's a fight. You got to stay on top of this because it can get out of hand.
And it really comes down to like where your heart is.
Yeah.
And that's what the enemy is truly after in this whole thing around sibling rivalry. He used whatever opportunity, whatever chance he can to try to kind of put that seed of enviousness and jealousy into your heart and cause you to look at your sib just a little differently because truth be told, you really do need your siblings.
Yeah.
As you grow up in life, as you go through life, it's a blessing to have siblings. It's a blessing to have people that are blood related that you can, that have had the same experiences that you have the same training that you had, know you from the beginning, and they're able to help you as you walk through this thing called life. And the enemy, of course, doesn't like that. So he wants to destroy it.
No unity. He wants to keep people divided and almost believe in lies, because he'd throw those seeds and see how they did that for them, but not for you. But they didn't see what your parents did for you and not for them. Like you were saying, you got to treat each child according to who they are, how they are. You're not going to deal with the same way with each child because they're all different. Correct. And so you may not have seen that and you didn't have the conversation. So you start getting your own narrative like, see, they like them better than me. Oh, because I'm the only boy. Or that's because all these weird thoughts in you. I'm going to start treating them different. Then here comes bitterness. Here comes hatred. And now you jealous of you. It just keeps getting worse and worse and worse.
And it travels with you through adulthood.
Yeah.
Still have those same rivalries. 30-year-olds, 40-year-olds, 60, 70-year-olds still beefing. Yeah. Because of things that happened when they were a child. Yeah. And that's unfortunate. Yeah. Because like you said, it's really, at a certain point, you got to just have the conversation. Yeah. You got to sit down and talk about it, talk through it. And I guarantee you, however you saw it, the other person did not see it that way.
Yes. You can have, everybody comes out the house with a different point of view. You can have all these people in the same house, been treated with love, kindness. You still gonna walk away with it. Well, I didn't see it that way. That didn't happen. You're like, what? How? But that's just the way it goes. Yep. So
and there's those cases where it's pretty obvious that there is special treatment.
Yeah. I was thinking about people that have special needs children and all those things, those special circumstances. The siblings have to kind of take on more. How you walk away from that kind of shows what type of character you have. You could have bitterness and resentment because your special needs sibling needs more attention from the parents, or you could leave the house with a more loving, caring heart because you were in the siblings can make you a better person or a worse person. They can push you into your purpose, or they could you can walk away from it because of how you grew up together.
Yeah, and in that case, it's really how you choose to walk through that situation. Yeah, it really is all about your heart. Yeah, because there's some things you just can't, in that situation, you can't avoid. No. There's just a need that has to be met, And as hard as you might try to keep it even by virtue of the circumstance, you won't be able to.
Yeah.
And it's tough.
And the parents, it falls on them again, like to try to make sure, hey, we see you, we recognize you, we thank you for your patience. You know, like really keep that child knowing that they're loved and seen too. So parents have a lot of responsibility.
Yeah.
It's a lot on parents' shoulders.
I think that's the hardest part when you have a child that is more needy versus the ones that aren't. It's hard to keep in mind that the ones that are not needy still need you.
That's right.
That is a very challenging thing because as parents, we get overloaded. We got a lot of stuff going on in our own lives.
Indeed.
You know, we have our jobs, we have our other things, we got our relationship with our companions, then you got the totality of the family you have to deal with.
Yeah.
So if there's a wheel that's not squeaking, a lot of times it's like,
that's true. That's true. Like those kids that be cutting up.
They wear you out.
Yeah. So the one that's getting all the A's and mind their business.
Like, you just keep doing that.
Oh yeah.
You're good.
And knowing all this time they building up resentment.
Absolutely. And you have to be watchful. You have to be mindful of that because that person too can have the same like you said before. They can come out of it like, okay, I'm grateful, I'm thankful because you know maybe I didn't have the same rough road as my sib did, and you know it helped me be a better person, be more independent, whatever the case may be.
Right.
Or you can have that same resentment, like hey, y'all paid all y'all attention over here. You ain't never had no time for me, and now I done made it, and now all of a sudden y'all just want to come. Those types of things happen a lot.
It's real. Yeah.
And so that's why as a parent it's so challenging.
Yeah.
That's why you don't try to walk into it so haphazardly because there is a lot of nuance in the way of parenting that we miss.
If you want to do it right, I'm telling you.
It's tough, but God can help you.
Yeah, that kind of helps segue us into the other story in the Bible. Did we do Jacob and Esau?
No.
That's a great example of what the parents being partial. Yeah. And you see what happened with that?
That did not turn out very well. And in this particular case, this is Genesis, the 25th chapter through the 33rd chapter, if you want to read it. But it started really in 25:22. Yeah. And it happened precariously because it's kind of interesting to me that the mother was aware that one would be greater than the other. She was aware, you know, that the elder was going to serve the younger and that he was going to be great and so forth and so on. So it's like, how do you handle that? Yeah. As a parent, when you know that, you know, one is going to be greater than the other, or you know the destiny, or God is giving you vision or visibility into who this child is going to be versus maybe the other one, how do you stay impartial?
Oh, right.
How do you?
Especially when he was like a mama's boy type of.
Yes.
So he kind of, you know, she was loving on him.
Yeah, because he was around her all the time.
I wonder if she's kept him in the tents because she knew.
Maybe.
Who knows?
And that's the question. In this case, Jacob and Esau, they were twins. Esau came out first. Jacob came out second. They definitely were not identical twins. And as they grew, the father, Isaac, had more of an affinity towards Esau because he was a hunter. He was a man of the field. You know, he made him good meats. But Jacob was more of a homebody, kind of stayed around the house, and his mother loved him more. Yeah. How do you deal with that? Right. So I'm pretty sure now this is two kids born at the same time. Both male. Mama got her pick, Daddy got his pick.
Jeez.
And I'm pretty sure you could feel the difference in how each one of them approached the other. I'm pretty sure Isaac didn't approach Jacob the same way he approached Esau or dealt with him. And same thing for Rebecca. She probably, you know, kind of dismissed Esau a little bit and was more attentive to Jacob. Yeah. And it got to the point where, you know, they probably felt that.
I'm sure.
And that probably started to shape how they dealt with each other.
I wonder how that did it for their marriage too, because as we read on, how could she do that to her husband?
Yeah. That's kind of tough. That's another part of it. When you start picking and choosing as a parent, it does cause divide between you and your companion. Because if one is trying to be fully impartial and they see you, you know, giving better special treatment. Let's not even get into when you talk about children that have, or there's blended families.
Oh yeah.
Or you have, you know, a mother that comes with children or a father that comes with children already, and then they have children together, and you see
Yeah,
how
your job just got harder.
way more difficult. And
Ooh.
it's challenging to balance that because
Yeah.
sometimes we'll overcorrect or we won't do anything at all.
Yeah.
And in the end, it starts to pit one against the other.
Mm-hmm.
Both sides might not like the ones born out of your union because y'all treat them differently than you treat each one of the different sides.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a challenge.
Wow.
And that's something that you have to take into consideration and just be mindful of as you're dealing with your children, as a stepmother is dealing with her stepchildren, and as a stepfather is dealing with his stepchildren. You have to be very mindful of that.
Right.
One thing that I really appreciate growing up is that I didn't know that my sisters were half sisters. I never was aware of it, didn't know anything about it. First time I heard about it, I wanted to punch them in the face because I thought they were lying. I was like, wow. I didn't know any difference. And that's an attribute to like my mom and my dad.
Mm-hmm.
Both of them, my mother she allowed my father to be a father to my sisters, you know, because that's a lot of times you see where kids come in from other relationships and you can't really parent. I'm going to parent them.
Yeah, don't
you
touch
just parent
them.
these over here.
Mm-hmm.
And it causes confusion in the home.
Yeah.
Now you have to be in a position where you're trustworthy in that regard because sometimes, again, if you have favoritism, you can abuse.
Yes.
And that's what a lot of times they're trying to guard against is their children being abused by someone who's not their natural parent.
Right.
But if you have the love of God in you, you're not going to do that.
That's right.
If you have the love of God in you, you're going to do everything you can to love without dissimulation and try to be impartial and try to judge rightly in every matter. You're not going to give your kid, your natural born blood child, the benefit of the doubt if you're not giving that same consideration to the child that maybe was not of your loins, if you will.
Right. The unity is like, that's what we're striving for.
Yep. And in this particular case with Jacob and Esau, again, the mother had her pick, the father had his pick, and you get to now that they probably are aware of it, you get to a situation where Jacob kind of leveraged the situation where Esau was hungry and he was able to get him to sell his birthright to him. And I'm pretty sure after he did it, he probably was like, man, but I'm pretty sure that didn't help the situation. Now you got mama treating you all kinds of, different. Yeah. And you hiding out in the house and you just took even though I gave it to you, you took it. Yeah. You took advantage of me and you took my birthright. Yeah. I'm over here. Okay. I'm kind of getting over it. I still got daddy. Daddy still loved me. And you keep going, and before you know it,
he has something in his pocket.
Yeah, he still had this thing called the blessing that he was waiting on. Yep. And he didn't get that away. He was expecting like I can give away the birthright, but I'm looking forward to this blessing thing. And then here you go. Wow. Mama stepping into the situation, and because she had that knowledge, she went and she manipulated the situation, told her son what to do. He obeyed her, and boom, bang, bing. Now they stole.
Oh my goodness!
First of all, they deceived. His father, her husband, stole her son, his brother's blessing, and it's like, how do you justify that? Right. And it got to the point where Esau was like, okay, I'm gonna kill you.
I'm sure he meant it. It wasn't no plaything.
No, it was real because he got tired of getting crossed by his sibling. He wasn't gonna kill his mama, but he definitely was gonna kill his brother. And that's what you see a lot of times. Like, it never necessarily goes to the parent, but it stays on the sibling. Yeah. And all of the anger and all of the hatred, the wrath that comes from anger and hatred, it gets projected towards the sibling when the parent had just as much responsibility for creating the situation. Yeah.
The adults in the house.
And she manipulated the situation. And that's unfortunate because you see that where you're trying to position your favorite to get the best or try to, make sure they're getting the better treatment. And you do it at the expense of other relationships in the home. Yeah. And you may not see it right away. You might not get the backlash of it. Yeah. But you just created a rivalry.
Exactly. I mean, as a parent, I would feel bad if my children weren't getting along and they actually wanted to literally kill each other. I mean, Adam and Eve, their son literally killed his brother.
Sure did.
Now we have these two. One brother want to kill the other, but Mama had to. Both parents were.
They both had their thing.
Yeah.
They had their part, but hers was just worse.
Yeah, she took it way further. Oh my goodness. And that would just make me sad as a mom to see that happening. But I mean, something had to been going on within her, which we probably know from her background, that had it to make it seem like this is okay to do.
Yeah.
You know, like, where did that come from? Why do you feel like this is okay to pit your brothers to steal your even though she knew that
she didn't have to do it
like that. And God would have, it's just unfortunate.
And that's a lot of times where we get caught. It's like there's things that we know, things that we're aware of, and instead of just trusting God to work it out or to manifest it in His time, we try to force things and we make a mess of it because we do it with fleshly means. Yeah, and we connive, we lie, we deceive, and you just can't expect good success when you do those types of things. There is going to be a backlash. Yeah. There is going to be some things you're going to have to pay for.
Yeah, it's coming back.
It's going to come back.
Yeah.
And in his case, Jacob ended up having to basically leave his family because of it. Because if he had stayed, Esau was going to kill him.
Literally.
he was literally going to kill him. So he had to run away. He had to go to his uncle's house. And then we get to another story with rivalry. We get to Leah and Rachel. Yeah. This one was interesting to me because this one was wholly created by the parent.
Once again.
In this case, Laban had agreed with Jacob for him to marry Rachel, which was his younger daughter, if he worked for 7 years. Jacob kept up his end of the bargain, and out of the blue, Laban decided to change the deal and said, well, I can't give you my younger daughter without my oldest being married first. So he just snuck her on in there. Right. What is this? This is in Genesis 29. Just kind of snuck her up in there, literally. Snuck her in the bed in the middle of the night. Right. Brother wake up like, who was this?
Right. That's so mean.
So, he unawares. No. He had nothing to do with it. Yeah. The father gave him the eldest sister. And he was like, well, I really didn't want her. I want the younger. Now, can you imagine if the sister's standing there? Right. You sitting here, you telling me, like, you don't want me. You want my younger sister. Always wanted her. Always loved her. But now I'm in the middle of it with you.
That would make me feel some kind of way.
Yes, it would.
And, like, I love my sister, but now that would turn something, Yep.
And then eventually, as you know, he did get the younger sister as well. And now they're both his wives. That was only acceptable back then. Don't be trying to get no, sister wives now. They ain't supposed to be doing that no more. But in this case, it was the father that created this situation. He could have just honored his original agreement and just gave him Rachel like he had said and left it at that. Right. But he put Leah in the middle of this, and now they're sitting here having a baby war.
You're like a competition.
Well, because Leah, they say she knew, or God noticed, and God said that Jacob didn't really like her. Yeah. He loved Rachel. Yeah. Everywhere you see it talking about Rachel, he loved her. Yep. But he didn't really like Leah like that. So God opened her womb and blessed her to have children. And that was kind of the thing that helped her bring value to the situation. Right. And she was hoping through childbearing that she could get his attention and that she can garner his love. Right. As we know, that never really happened. No. She ended up having like 7 kids. But Rachel over there lame because she couldn't have no kids. So her womb was closed at the time. And they both and I'm pretty sure Leah was probably relishing in the fact that he might love you, but he keep having babies by me. Right.
7. Got him.
So that's creating tension.
But I feel bad for Rachel. She innocent.
So was Leah.
Her daddy. But
like her daddy.
These sometimes I tell you, parents, we got to do better.
And that's what
they suffer
because of some stupid stuff that we do. We put our children sometimes in situations where they're going head to head and they're competing against each other, and they feel like the only way that I can truly be loved, accepted by you, is by going through my sibling.
Wow. That's crazy.
And we have to be careful.
That is crazy.
As parents, not to pit our children against each other. Don't put them in situations where they're going to be pitted against each other because it can quickly turn. Yeah. And once it turns, now you got a bad situation.
Yeah. So things like you should be more like Why
Oh,
you so and so did it? Why can't you do it?
oh
You know,
no.
all that stuff that just creates,
Yep.
why you get this grade and they got what's wrong with you? All
Yep.
that stuff.
Those are the very words that get you in
Yeah.
trouble.
Yeah,
And the kids start thinking about that and they roll
Yeah.
over in their head.
yeah.
And they're looking at that other sibling and now they're starting to envy.
Mm-hmm.
And they're looking at them like, well, that envy means a feeling of discontent or covetousness with regard to another's advantage, success, or possessions.
Mm.
So if you're excelling and the other one's not excelling, you keep telling them how much they're excelling. It's like, I see
And you
it.
keep hyping the other one up, and
Right.
okay, that's nice. Or like one is intellectual, one's athletic.
Right.
Nobody care about that.
It depends on what your proclivity is. If you're more athletic, then you're gonna again lean more towards the athlete.
Yes.
If you're more intellectual,
to
you're
the
gonna
arts
be
and
more
all
to
that.
the.
Yeah.
And sometimes you have a mix of all that in your
Yeah.
household.
In one house.
Trust me, we know. Like I say, it is tough to try to manage all of those things because first and foremost, you have to realize like, okay, I do have a more of an inclination towards one thing or the other.
Mm-hmm.
That's number one. You have to accept and understand where you are.
Yeah.
And then once you understand where you are, now how are you going to adjust?
Yeah.
Are you just going to keep doing it? Or are you
Yeah.
going to actually start to try to find a way to make sure that that child that maybe not do the things that you do, you still loved, you're still appreciated, you're still
Yeah.
valued. I still see you.
Yeah.
Like with us, I know you had to tell me one time because I loved basketball when I was younger.
Mm-hmm.
I just hooped. It was just something that I did. I enjoyed playing basketball.
Mm-hmm.
So my sons that played ball, okay, y'all just come with me.
Mm-hmm.
Or all of y'all come with me at
Yeah.
first. And it's
Yeah.
like, so I had all my boys there and some of them didn't like basketball.
Yeah.
But they were there. And as they got older, I gave them a choice. You don't have to come.
Yeah.
But now it seems like a disparity because I'm over here hooping all the time or I'm at the gym.
Yeah.
And the one that's not into that stuff, what are they doing?
Right.
And how am I spending time with them? How am I
Yeah.
showing up and being a father to them?
Mm-hmm.
And it took you telling me that one day, like, hey, you need to make sure you balance that out.
Yeah.
And I'm thankful for it.
Yeah.
Because I didn't think that it was wrong. I didn't think I was doing anything wrong. I didn't see it as me showing favoritism.
Yeah.
But it ain't always about how I see it.
Yeah.
It's about how the children see it and how they experience it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we forget. We think it's just
so
all
true.
about how I see it and what I
Yeah.
think and what I feel. No.
Right, because you're in authority and all this stuff, but that's true. And then too, we also learned down the line that they didn't share the same love for basketball like you. And so you poured all that time and stuff into it. It was like, I don't want to do this anymore. Like, seriously. But on the other hand, it's like it's good that you spent the time with them and showed them this is what you could do and all that. So that I'm not like scratching that for like it was worthless or anything, but
even with that, you have to accept that
yes,
too. I had to accept that adjustment. Okay, now that we're not doing this, how do I still stay connected? How do I still show up? How do I still demonstrate that I care? Make sure you understand it wasn't about basketball.
Yeah.
Because again, if I was just spending time with you because it was convenient, because you were doing what I wanted to do, then I was wrong anyway.
Right. And we have to, as parents, again, because the kids they want that love and acceptance and like attention. Yep. And so if that's what they have to do, they'll adjust. They'll oblige. But in their hearts, it's like this is not what I really want to do. And like then the one that completely doesn't like it can grow a resentment towards you and the siblings that are doing it or faking it or whatever you want to call it. True. And just because it's just not working for them.
And that's where you just have to be aware. You have to be present. You have to be willing to make adjustments because you're not going to get it right all the time. Say you're going to make missteps and you're going to go down the wrong path, but how fast can you recognize it and how fast can you get back to the right path is how I look at it. Because parenting, they don't give you a handbook.
No.
They don't tell you the do's and don'ts. And even if they did, they all look different. Like whatever you see don't necessarily look the same as what your parents might have saw.
Because we're all different.
Exactly.
And each child you have is going to be different. So there's no way of knowing until they're here.
Yep.
But if you could have we could be a united front. I could have been like Rebecca, be like, take the one that do this, like we gonna show them, like have a division in the home.
True.
And you can just take your squad and do what you do, and everybody be clashing all day. like band versus strings or whatever. We had that in the house too, but that was kind of more of a friendly thing. But like some people like one person likes strings and the rest of them like percussions and wind instruments, and like we had all kinds of stuff going on.
There was no consensus about anything in the house.
Yeah, but it was just to be able to experience everybody in their world and what they liked, and being able to balance that. And I'm sure they still gonna walk away with. They'll still say, yeah, but because that's just the
realities of what it is. But they can walk away also knowing that we tried. And that's sometimes is the most important thing to walk away with. It's not that you got it perfect, but it's the fact that they know you're trying.
Right.
Yeah, there was times that we had to apologize. Like, look,
still be apologizing.
I'm sorry. I didn't even know.
Yeah.
And I repent. That was not my intention.
Right.
And I will not do that again. Not just like suck it up, buttercup.
Get over it.
No. I'm the adult here.
Yeah.
I should have recognized that. I didn't. I'm sorry. I was wrong. Please forgive me. Now let's move forward.
Yeah.
And as we move forward, let me not repeat the same errors in my ways. And that's not what happens a lot of times, especially in our community. Is usually like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
And we dismiss it and we act like it shouldn't matter anymore. But you got to realize these things do carry over into adulthood.
Yes, they do.
And you become a 20-year-old and you and your sibs still beefing.
Yes.
You become 30-year-old.
They hold them grudges for a long time. Some of them don't ever reconcile.
And that's the unfortunate part, because you need your siblings. And when you can't or you don't talk to your siblings for years and you don't even feel no kind of way, that's problematic to me.
No, I ain't say you got to be all up under each other. But
I said years.
But you can at least, I mean, like, but like no high, nothing, crickets. That's wow. That to me is strange.
Yeah, I don't reach out to my sibs all the time, but they know that I'm there for them when they need me. Yeah, I got them. And like I say, I feel the same way about them. If we need each other, we're there. We have good relationships. Was always perfect? No. Do we have our feelings about certain things? Yeah. But I just got older, and you realize like parenting is hard.
Yes.
And you realize like,
yes,
man, okay, I give you some grace because now I get it.
Oh, yeah.
Now I understand some things better than I did maybe when I was a teenager, or in my youth. Now I really get it. So I'm gonna give you grace, but am I gonna necessarily do that? No. Yeah. Because I'm trying to do better, and I would hope that all parents will want your children to do better than you did. Yeah. I want mine to do better than me.
Yeah, for sure. Like going back to this story between they kind of clashed for a while, competing over babies and all that stuff. And then what got me was Rachel. Rachel had 2 kids, 2 boys.
Yep. Just 2.
And then who turned around and showed favoritism?
Jacob.
After what he went through in his home, you would have thought he wouldn't do that. He had all them boys.
Yep.
But there was only one that he loved more. Like, what in the world?
Yeah, it says because he was the son of his old age, but
it was because Rachel had that baby.
Oh, that too. Because he was already old and he started having kids.
No, he liked Rachel.
He did. He hid it. I'm pretty sure they all knew he liked Rachel. So when she had a child, he probably was fawning over him more than the others, to the point where he did make him a coat of many colors, and that was something different. And all them boys, you had like what at that time, like 10 boys.
10? Yep, yeah.
So you had 10 other boys sitting there watching your dad make the baby a nice, pretty coat. He ain't never done none of that for you.
Nope.
Ain't really done a whole lot for you because your mama Leah. So he ain't really, give you the same love and attention and the fonding over as he did this kid named Joseph. And Joseph, of course, it's always funny how when parents kind of like light the fire, sometimes kids just make it into a bonfire in a flame. Yeah.
This story even says that they hated him all the time. I'm like, wow, they didn't keep you in the dark. They hated Joseph.
Pretty much. And then he went and telling them all kinds of, tell him a story. Guess what I dreamed? It was like,
no, Joseph. He was young.
He was young, and they should have known it, but it didn't matter because they were mad.
I wonder, was he one of them kind of brothers that was he like got away with everything because he was the fave? I wonder, was he a nitpicky brother, or when you come? First of all, we don't like you, and you gonna come with this dream.
Yeah, he's just the youngest one. I don't really say whether he was like getting away with stuff or not. Don't really say. But at the end of the day, he was young.
Yeah.
He said it was true, but it just wasn't wise for him to say it, but he did anyway.
Well,
and that just made him hate him more.
Yeah, but this story, when we get into it, kind of makes me think like this. What happened was on purpose, though. If none of this stuff led up to it, he wouldn't have got where he was. The same way with Jacob.
We'll never know.
You know, like I wonder. Sometimes you go through your house, they make you better people because they was mean to you.
Yeah,
which is unfortunate, but some people turn out better.
Yeah, okay. Try. Like,
no, they don't.
I made you better.
You welcome.
Right. Punch you in the face. How about that? You're welcome.
Okay, scratch that. Okay, back to Joseph.
On that note, though, it's the same thing about you talk about purpose. You never know how God is going to lead you to your purpose. We always think, well, if that didn't happen, I ain't saying if it didn't happen, God wouldn't have got him there.
Yeah.
But he definitely used it to get him there.
Yeah, that's
same way with Jacob.
Yeah.
It's not that he wouldn't have got the blessing anyway, but like say that's how he got it. That's how he got it. And that's how God works sometimes. Like if he has a purpose or a plan for your life, even when things look like it's going bad or awry, or you have these different challenges, if you will, God can use that to get you to where he wants you to be still.
Yeah.
In the Joseph case, of course, you know the story. If you don't, go read Genesis, the 30th chapter all the way through. The 37th chapter is a pretty extensive story. I think it's picked up in the 37th chapter when it talks about him eventually getting thrown into the pit because his brothers, they saw him and they would have killed him. Again, it's something about the rivalry. It always tends to lead towards or lean towards murder.
Yeah.
Like, I don't like you, my brother. I don't like you so much where I want to get rid of you, and that's pretty dramatic.
Yeah, you know that has the enemy wrote all over that
all day long, and that's where, if you want to bring it into Christendom, we have to be careful.
Yeah,
like if the enemy tries to bring that type of division in the midst, where we start having rivalry amongst our sisters and brothers in Christ. It does lead to murder. Yes, it does. And if we allow that thing to fester, if we don't address it, we don't deal with it, we can get to the point where we're not going to go get a gun and shoot nobody or stab them with a knife, but we'll assassinate their character. Oh, yeah. Like we'll backbite and we'll, hearsay and gossip. We'll be gossiping, and some of it might be true. Yeah. And then sometimes we just straight up lie on people because we don't like them, or because we got a beef with them, or we don't understand why they get to and why they always, and that causes us to go into that dark space, if you will. And as brothers and sisters, sometimes we can get real dark on each other. Yeah. But we're supposed to let brotherly love continue. That's right. And the way that you allow it to continue is definitely don't allow yourself to get into a rivalry. Yeah. If you do, it's a strong pull towards the dark side. Definitely. Like you say, you have to figure out where's this coming from. Jealousy. Yep. I don't know. Just usually it starts with jealousy because somebody's favored over the other, or jealous because they can do something I can't do, or he's accepted more this way. I'm more of an introvert. They're more of an extrovert. Different things that just there's differences. And if somebody's getting more praise than the other, it starts building up that jealousy if you have something going on inside your heart. Yeah, and that's the good part. It's like it's differences. Yeah. That's what usually starts the rivalries, and that's what causes them to continue forward, is we don't accept, appreciate, value the differences of others. Yes, that's so true. But there are some good endings for some of these stories. Yeah. Jacob and Esau eventually reconciled. Yes, they did. Joseph and his brothers reconciled. Well, we already know Cain and Abel. That didn't work out. Leah and Rachel, I don't know how they ended. They were rich. I mean, they were part of Jacob's squad. So well, actually, Rachel ended up passing away after she had Benjamin. That's right. She sure did. So it was Leah and the two handmaidens that were left. Oh, so I guess Leah won. Oh, don't say that. Oh, come on now. But that's probably another reason why Jacob loved Joseph, because she died after the other boy, right? The last one, but he loved Joseph already. That was already established. So. Okay, we that's been established. Jacob had faith. Yes, but the story, as we talked about, how Joseph got tricked. Jacob
oh, geez, too many names. Jacob got tricked again when they lied and said that the animal. Well, no, they didn't tell him.
They let him infer.
Yeah, that he was killed by an animal.
Yep.
But that's. I wonder if he thought about the times he tricked his brother. Like, man, I'm getting my paybacks again.
Well, no, he thought it really happened. So he was living in grief.
Yeah, he was.
For
You're right.
a very long time because
he sure was.
He thought Joseph actually was dead. Now,
That's
forward,
true.
can you imagine when he finally saw him alive?
Now I would have got.
I would have smacked the mess out of every last one.
Lined up. Y'all all getting whooped. I don't care
my
how big
old
you are.
self would have tried. I would have tried to.
Oh no!
It probably felt like a tap, but I would have tried it with every last one of them.
Now that had been a story for you to be a fly on the wall watching that happen.
And I mean, it had to unfold the way it did, but
wow.
the reason why it turned out good is because of Joseph's heart. I think we talked about that earlier. It really is about the heart of the individual that's dealing with or going through that.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be careful not to allow your heart to get hard or to get bitter as you go through this thing called sibling rivalry. It happens sometimes.
Indeed.
But you don't have to stay there. You don't have to dwell there.
Right.
Just like Joseph, he didn't continue it forward. Once he finally, got to his place where God had said he was going to be, he forgot the whole dream and everything. But when his brothers came, it came back to his memory. He could have used this opportunity to get back at them because they deserved it.
Mm-hmm.
But instead, he understood the assignment. And instead of looking at it, well, y'all did this to me, he no, this was what was needed for me to get to where I am. God knew exactly what he needed to do. And sometimes we don't see it that way. Like we dwell on, well, you shouldn't have did this to me. Mm-hmm. Why did this have to happen to me? Woe is me. Instead of looking at, but look at there's a lot of good things that came out of it as well.
Yeah, that's true.
Even with Jacob, even though he ran to, Laban's house, but when he got there, he ended up getting married, having children, had the 12 sons of Israel, end up getting riches and everything, and really left there way better than he did when he came.
Yeah.
So even though it was not the best of situations getting him there, and then on the way, he began to build a relationship with the Lord. Mm-hmm. And on his way out of Laban's house, he solidified that relationship with the Lord. Joseph, again, going from his father's house, being away from all his family, it definitely didn't look good. I mean, going to prison, slavery first, then going from slavery into prison, and then by over time, still getting overlooked. Had a situation where he thought he was about to come out of it, but nope, back into prison again. But he kept a good attitude throughout the course of it. Got accused of rape. That was before he even got to prison. Yeah, so all of these things.
That's why he went to prison.
Right. But all of these things that happened to him, he could have looked at that and was like, man, it's because of my brothers. If they hadn't, you could have just let that thing fester. You could have, got, what's that word? Not envy, but
resentment.
Resentment, and just come bitter about the whole situation. And you might got there to where you're supposed to be, but there was an assignment. There was a reason why you were there.
That's right.
And it was to actually help the ones that were.
See, that's what I was trying to say.
But
I don't know how to explain that one, but I just be thinking about that.
And that's how God works sometimes.
Yeah. But he said God meant it for good. Like y'all was doing it for evil, but God had a plan.
Absolutely.
But you know what the part I that he forgot that dream, which already was like, he told them, I saw y'all bowing to me, this and that. And even the daddy was like, wait a minute, what you talk about?
Yeah.
But it happened though.
Yeah. It took him, he went that route to get there.
Yeah.
And said, I don't know how a young man way over there ended up standing next to Pharaoh by way of and slavery and prison. But that's how God works.
And let's not forget, he was 17
when he started his journey.
Wow.
So he wasn't that old, but that's how God works.
Amazing.
And that's where we have to, when we start thinking about maybe some of the situations that we found ourselves in over the course of our lives, maybe some of the fractured relationships that we have with our siblings, take a step back and think about it a little bit more deeply and just think about it from a different perspective. Would you be the person that you are? Not just in the negative part, but there's some good parts of you. Like say, it teaches you tenacity. It teaches you to persevere.
Yeah.
It teaches you how to, live and be able to function with conflict. Know how to handle tough situations. It teaches you a lot of different things.
Yeah. How to forgive.
How to forgive. It pushes you also sometimes to try. When you have these rivalries, sometimes people just ain't got that get up and go, but you got somebody in front of you, they force you to do better, to try harder, not to settle. And it helps you become who you are. Not all just the negative stuff, but there's some good things that can come out of it as well. And most importantly, they say if you ain't dead yet, you can make amends. Like I say, Jacob and Esau, you would have thought that was never going to be, rectified. I mean, it was 20 years between the time that, Jacob left and the time he saw Esau again. So it was a long time that passed. His mom, I think, maybe one of his, no, I don't think they passed yet. But it was a lot of time that had passed in between. A lot of life happened in between them, too. By the time, Jacob was kind of worried because he knew what he did to his brother. He knew how he left that situation. And he knew he was guilty, too. But Esau, when he finally told him I'm coming, Esau brought his whole army. Jacob thought he was about to get destroyed because he thought Esau was still holding on to that. But if you look at the scripture, Esau had let that go.
See,
he moved on, kept living his life. He had his own thing going on.
Wow.
And sometimes we're holding ourselves to something it's past. And it's just a conversation to help you realize it passed. And things that used to probably make you upset and angry, now you can laugh about it. Talk about some of the stories that you had when you was back with your parents and everything. Things that used to get you all in your feelings and make you want to fight. Now you just kind of laugh about it and realize how petty some of it really was.
Oh yeah. Or you may have a healing moment where you be like, man, I'm sorry about that. I mean, sometimes my brother, he'll bring up stuff when we tease them and stuff. I'm like, I'm sorry. I mean, I'm sorry I made you feel that way, because in the moment I was just being silly, but I didn't know how bad it affected you. So we have to go back here and there and patch it up. But
that's the thing, just being willing to.
And
that's what will help you overcome this thing called sibling rivalries. Sometimes it has to come. Healing comes through the parents acknowledging. I didn't do it right. I'm sorry. If it was my intention, I'm definitely sorry. But if it was not my intention, I'm still definitely sorry, because I don't want you to live there. Like you say, brothers and sisters need to come together and hash it out and forgive one another, repent, and also forgive one another. Like I say, it's what it was, it happened, but let's move forward and work towards building a better relationship with each other. Because at the end of the day, the Bible talks about envy, which is really like the foundation of the sibling rivalry. It says, let us walk honestly as in a day, not in rioting and drunkenness, not in chambering or wantonness, not in strife and envy. That's Romans 13:13. It says, Galatians 5:26, let us not be desirous of vainglory, provoking one another, envying one another. And what is another one? James 3:16 said, where envying and strife is, there is confusion and every evil work. And that's not how we want to live. We want to live as children of the light. We don't want to be living in a place where we're constantly feeling discontent and we're covetous, or we're looking at our brothers and sisters side-eye because of where they are and who they are, and using old data, to still write the narrative around how you're going to treat them or how they are as a person, instead of taking the time to get to know them for who they are right now. And again, forgiving them for maybe who they was, and repenting for who you were. Exactly. And let's move forward. Let's not be rivals, but instead let's be collaborators and co-laborers as we move forward in this life. Because
for sure,
again, the Bible say, friend loveth at all time, but a brother or sister is born for adversity. In those times of trouble in your life, when things are going rough, it's such a blessing to have your family. It's such a blessing to have your siblings to be able to care for you. It's great to have other people for sure. But it's something different about when you got your family. Like when we were having kids, having my sisters available, and willing to help out, because we know what he was doing. Mom, we know what he was doing, so we need all the help we could get. Just willing to lend a helping hand when it was needed, being able to just be a support system for us. That goes a long way, and I'm thankful for it, and I appreciate it. Thankful that nothing that when we were younger carried over into adulthood that caused us not to love one another, not to look out for one another.
Yeah.
And I pray that continues as we go into our old age, because we all getting
know.
old now.
Yeah. I also think about, like, I think another thing, kids or children get afraid that there's only enough love for, we're going to run out of love. But it's just like for God. God's love is endless. It's like it's always there. So we don't have to fight and compete for it. It's there. And if us as parents can set that tone, the kids can kind of calm down, be yourself. We're going to love you regardless of what you do, what you don't do. That love is always there. And I think that will help a lot with keeping that envy down amongst the children.
That is so true. Well, we're hitting to the end. Is there any last words? We talked about a lot. Hopefully something that we rambled through on this episode, you got something good out of it that you can take with you.
Yeah.
And hopefully it helps you as you go and continue in your walk. Any last words, Talisha?
No, I think that's all I had to say. Just remember, family is important. God loves unity, and we can do this with the help of the Lord.
All right.
What about you? Any closing words?
I just said them.
Oh.
Viva la familia.
Okay.
All right. Bye.
I don't know what that means.
Right.
Well, that's our time. Thank you so much for listening. We hope this episode has further enriched your perspective.
Until next time, I'm Mike.
And I'm Talisha.
God bless.